guys, my name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday again, and yesterday I have reached 300 subscribers, as you have seen. So this is another video from the 300 subscriber special series, which is basically, this is just Podcast Tuesday, so this time we'll be doing my OathBreaker deck tech. As you can see, basically the Dack Fayden deck, that's what I built. Yeah, and that's my OathBreaker deck. And in this podcast, I'm now going to show you the deck tech. Oh yeah, this is basically my OathBreaker deck, but now we're just going to start off and I will show you the OathBreaker deck. So yeah, I'll show you what the OathBreaker and the signature spell is right now. Yeah, this is my, the OathBreaker is Dack Fayden, as you can see, of course. Yeah, it's a blue-red. Same thing as the number 15 there, that I showed you there. And yeah, when I was first testing the deck, my signature spell was Rolling Thunder. What I thought was basically Rolling Thunder could be used to basically steal everything for just 2 mana. Because I thought I could just divide 0, but no. I can't even divide 1. Like, basically I have to do at least 1 damage to each creature the opponent controls. So like the opponent has like, and those, but so then I changed it to Argent Mutation, which instead of just targeting many creatures, I can basically target any permanent. So it becomes an artifact. I draw a card, and then I can steal it off with Dack Fayden's -2. Because well, yeah, the deck was mainly about Dack Fayden's -6 ability, which was to get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, gain control of those permanents. Yeah, it starts at 3 loyalty, which is kind of decent, average, for its mana cost, which is 3. Also, it has a +1 of any player may loot 2 cards. Like, basically, not just yourself, any player can do it. So, yeah, you could be friendly with it. And yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. Yeah. It's very good, Dack Fayden. -2 is to steal any artifact. So it basically makes a combo with Argent Mutation. So yeah, it is very good since like I get to do a redraw, but the thing is that with signature spells, you can only cast the spells if your OathBreaker is in the battlefield. Yeah. You can't do it if the OathBreaker isn't in the battlefield. But basically, with Argent Mutation, you would always do it if Dack Fayden has at least 2 loyalty. So then it can -2 to steal the target. But otherwise, you just have to try and get it to -6, where you get the emblem, and then you can do a lot of damage. Also, yeah, well, Rolling Thunder is still in the main deck, so I can still take advantage of the emblem and deal 1 damage to a lot of creatures, and then take them. Yeah. Also, Fireball could work. It could be a bit safer, like because it deals 0 damage then 1 damage, so it can steal 1 toughness creatures. But like, why would you want to steal 1 toughness creature? Well, if it's a 10-1, I guess you could, but nah, it's not really something you want, a 1 toughness creature. But if you don't take it, then kill it, basically. And, oh yeah, Rolling Thunder, if you don't have the emblem, it can be used as an effective board wipe. Better than Fireball. But, well, yeah, Fireball isn't in there. Might be thinking of putting Fireball in there. Now that I just say it. And yeah, very good. Those cards. Now,
RenderForest.com.
here are the drakes. This time, yeah, it's basically yeah. I'm wearing a different hat today. This is a hat that Akiva gave me for my birthday. Yeah, which is very cool. It's a gaming hat. And yeah, or gaming cap, whatever. Yeah, but still, it's very cool. So yeah, they're like, well, of course, in a Dack Fayden deck, like you have to run lots and lots of spells, mainly spells that target other permanents. So you'd have creatures that become stronger due to the amount of instants and sources. So you've got Enigma Drake, which is this kind of weaker one, which is like 3 mana X4 Drake with flying, and its power is equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard, which is a very good card. Like, yeah, there's the stronger Drake, which is the Crackling Drake, which is a 4 mana X4 Drake with flying, and power and toughness is equal to the total number. The power is equal to the total number of instants and sorceries you have in exile and graveyard. And when you enter the battlefield, you draw a card, which is good. You get a redraw, and spells you exile by like recasting them from the graveyard, or even simply as just sending it off from the from your hand to cast Pyrokinesis, for example. Yeah, they're all very good. And you've also got Mirror Image, which could possibly copy one of your drakes, for example. But you'd also want to be copying something you stole with Dack Fayden's emblem, or -2 Dack Fayden combined with Argent Mutation. So like, if it's like a Wormcoil engine, would be good. Like, it's already an artifact, so just simply -2 Dack Fayden, you take it, then you can mirror image copy that, or you could just simply, yeah, it can only copy your creatures, but yeah, this deck list is entirely mine. So like, yeah, some cards might need some replacements and stuff, but well, yeah, that is my deck as the deck list. So yeah, my deck list. Yeah, now. Got some creatures that have triggers when casting instants and sorceries. So yeah, I've got Talrand as well. So we've got Talrand, which is the 4 mana 2/2 Merfolk Wizard, legendary, yeah. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you create a 2/2 Drake with flying, yeah. And we've also got Murmuring Mystic, which is a 4 mana 1/5 human wizard, where whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you create a 1/1 bird illusion creature token with flying. They're slightly weaker tokens, but like they're literally like the same mana cost. Well, yeah, it's 3 3 blue versus 2 blue, but yeah. Yeah, it's... Oh yeah, it is actually a good card still, yeah. Yeah, Murmuring Mystic, like, there are differences between a 2-2. Well, yeah, Tauran creates stronger tokens, but Murmuring Mystic it's a bit weaker, but has a high toughness. So yeah, it can resist a lot of stuff. Like a simple bolt or shock could kill Tauran, but it will take multiple burn spells or damage spells to kill a Murmuring Mystic, for example. And we've also got just a simple card called Gutter Sniper, which just deals damage to every opponent, since Oathbreaker is a multiplayer format like Commander, Tiny Leaders, Brawl. Well, yeah, Brawl does not exist anymore. And yeah, like Gutter Sniper, yeah, like whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, deals 2 damage to each opponent. So basically, you just hit everyone slowly with your spells, damage. Like you go like, say for example, you'd go like Chandler's Pyrohelix. You deal 2 damage to your opponents, and then you could do like split 2 damage, for example. Yeah, you could split 2 damage. It's good. Yeah. They're all good. Oh yeah, like, yeah. And now, yeah, next pack. So we've got some more cards that have like spell casting triggers, like metallurgic summonings, for example, can create tokens probably bigger than the Talrand tokens or the yeah or the Murmuring Mystic tokens, because, well, yeah, they don't have flying, but it's a 5-mana enchantment where you cast an instant or sorcery. You create an X construct, where X is that spell's ability only if you control 6 or more artifacts. So yeah, it's kind of easy in this deck because you just like create lots of artifact tokens, deal some artifacts, sometimes even turn stuff into artifacts. Yeah, very good. It's a very good card. But you don't usually do the 5-mana activation. You usually just create tokens with it. Also, there's Saheeli, which is a 1 and 2 instant hybrid mana for 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. Saheeli, that's above average, yeah. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a 1/1 servo, which it creates the worst tokens, but it's for any non-creature spell, so even artifacts and enchantments, which there are a few in the deck, not many, but there are, it will trigger. Note that Great Furnace and Seat of the Synod are not spells. Yeah, it's clearly said it on the card. Like, it isn't a spell on the original printing. Yeah, as -2 to make an artifact you control become a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other type. Very good. So you can transform some of those servers into big stuff, or even those weak constructs that you create. Sometimes you could transform them. Yeah, very good. There's also Flux Channeler, which is a 3-mana 2/2 human wizard. With whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you proliferate. So basically, it can make your Dack Fayden reach 6 loyalty easier. And also, makes you protect your Saheeli, even lets you make Saheeli do -2 a bit more. But well, yeah, it's basically a very good card, Struts Channer, and plays a big role in the deck. Yeah. So we've got there spells that can deal damage to multiple targets. So there is the big one, which is Pyrokinesis, which is a 6 mana instant. You don't usually play the 6 mana. You most likely it's our red card from your hand. Yeah. Force of Will. Okay, no, it's not really Force of Will exactly, but it could be or a Force of Rage, either. It's not even. It's like it's very similar to Force of Will and Force of Rage in a way, like because it's like part of a pitch cycle. Like you'd exile a card of a certain color to ignore its mana cost, and yeah, it deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. It's very good. So like you could basically use it especially with Dack Fayden's emblem, to deal 1 damage to 4 creatures, for example. Because you can just split up a lot of damage, so you can just take a lot of stuff. So basically it's a quadruple target, which is good with the Pyrokinesis. Anyway, like you could just simply exile a red card you don't need anymore, for example. But otherwise, like it's a very good card. Also, there's Channer's Pyrohelix. Also, Twin Bolt could help, but yeah, I'm using Channer's Pyrohelix. I could also use a Twin Bolt in there, or yeah, because like Channer's Pyrohelix is the exact same thing as Twin Bolt, for example. Like it's a 2 mana instant that deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Well, Forked Bolt could be in there, but it's like 1 mana for sorcery. The thing is that with Channer's Pyrohelix, it's an instant, not a sorcery, and Lava Dart forces you to sacrifice a mountain, which is not really good for the Dack Fayden deck. Or should I say, Deck Fayden? You get it? Don't know if I any jokes. Yeah. And there's also Electrolyze, which is basically like a Channer's Pyrohelix, but you just pay an extra blue to draw a card, which is good. Like it also has a dual target, and you redraw. It's a very good card, Electrolyze, as well as Channer's Pyrohelix. Yeah, Pyrokinesis is much better than them. But the thing is, I can't hit players. Channer's Pyrohelix and Electrolyze can both hit players. Twin Bolt can also hit players, but it's not in there. Twin Bolt, unfortunately. Those are just the multiple target spells. So now it is wrong one. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there's also some spells which are the game control spells. Like you can't just depend on Dack Fayden's -2 plus Argent mutation, or just doing the -6 to then win. Oh, thanks, Akiva. Hello. How are you? So yeah, there. So yeah, it's very good. Like both like isn't really like taking control exactly, but it could like stop an attacker from attacking you or Dack Fayden. So then it will attack other players instead. It's like a 3 mana aura with enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, has flying, and it can't attack you or planeswalker you control. Very good. Like you could basically like you could basically stop anything from yeah, yeah. So basically, you don't really take control, but it it can just stop something. It makes it stronger, so then it'll just kill off the other opponents quicker. But if you have Dack's emblem, you also get to take the creature, and gets the +2/+2 in flying. What I just don't understand is the flavor text on the card. Like it says, soaring is wasted on the wind. What does it mean by that? Like that's the only thing that confuses me. But I just understand the card entirely. It's just the flavor text I don't understand. Well, there's also mind control. I could use control magic instead, but like mind control, yeah, I use it in there. Like I should try to change it to control magic, but I use mind control because like I just need to find my control magic, then put in my Dack Fayden deck rather than just use my mind control, which control magic is better. But like mind control is a 5 mana aura enchant creature you control enchanted creature. So basically you get to steal anything. Or, no, not anything, any creature for 5 mana. Threats of Disloyalty is 3 mana to steal any creature with CMC 2 or less, which is a bit restrictive. Like, only 2 or less? Like, it's too low. Yeah. It, like, Threats of Disloyalty is a good card. Like for 3 mana you can steal something or 2 mana. So like, yeah, it is a bit of mana disadvantage, but it's still a steal enchantment. Like, it's very good, and yeah, stealing enchantments, like they're actually good. Not sure if they are better than permanent steal spells. Like they're like spells that you basically get to permanently. The weakness of the Dack Fayden deck, the only weakness is Homeward Path. Like Homeward Path, it basically says like tap, add 1 mana to your mana pool, or tap, each player gains control of all permanents they own. So like that's the weakness of the Dack Fayden deck. Yeah, the only weakness. That's the thing. And yeah, but the thing is that to make the deck continue working as it should be, there's like 2 steal enchantments, which is like Threads of Disloyalty and Mind Control. So then, even if there is a Homeward Path, I still get to keep the creatures because they've been enchanted with the aura. So like, if I basically Mind Control, Threads of Disloyalty, any steal aura, any aura that lets you steal something, like the controller of the aura controls the creature in enchants. But if the aura was to fall off the creature, it goes back to its owner. That's why. So yeah, it's very good. Yeah, even steal enchantments are necessary in a Dack Fayden deck, which you basically already steal lots of stuff by itself. Oh yeah. So lets you cast multiple cards in one turn. So yeah, there's Precognition Field, which is a 4-mana enchantment with, you may look at the top card of your library. By the way, you can do this at any time. Yeah, it just clearly says it in the card. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery card. Yeah, pretty good. And for 3 mana, you can exile the top card of your library. So like you can, if you have like nothing in your hand, which will be very likely in a Dack Fayden deck, you could just like cast lots of instant sorceries, and if you were to hit an unwanted card, say for example a land, like if you already have lots of lands, you just pay 3 mana out the top. Or you could just simply +1 Dack Fayden if you haven't activated its loyalty abilities this turn, and if it's on the battlefield, of course. Like how are you supposed to +1 Dack Fayden if he's not on the battlefield? How are you supposed to Argent Mutation if Dack Fayden isn't on the battlefield? Yeah, law of logic there. Vance's Blasting Cannons, basically, it's like an extra draw. Like, for 4 mana, it's a legendary enchantment with, at the beginning of your upkeep, it's out the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast that card this turn. Whenever you cast your third spell in a turn, you may transform Vance's Blasting Cannons. So this is a key part on Vance's Blasting Cannons. Like, if you don't want to flip it, then it can stay as a Vance's Blasting Cannons and still give you the extra draw. But otherwise, which is a better choice, flip it into Spitfire Basket. And then you have an extra mana, or it can start shooting down some targets, or the opponents even. Very good. It's a very good card. Like Spitfire Basket is a like tap for red, or 2 red tap to deal 3 damage to any target. They're very cool, those cards. Now, so these are the flashback spells I have there. So there is Past in Flames, which lets you flashback lots of spells in your graveyard. So then you can recast them to steal more stuff if you want to. I've always wondered, if you were to flashback Pyrokinesis, can you still pay its alternative cost to then basically cast it for 0 mana? If you were to flashback it with Past in Flames, or with Mission Briefing even. I've always wondered that. But alright, but it would be very cool if you could do that. Like, you could deal more damage to targets, and like you just get more cards. If you like, Past in Flames is something you would play if you have Dack Fayden's emblem. Also, Past in Flames, don't be afraid to discard Dack. No, not Dack. Past in Flames, because Past in Flames can flashback itself even. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, they're all very good cards. There's also Mission Briefing, which is a 2 mana instant. Surveil 2. Yeah, you get to Surveil 2 first, and you choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If that card will be put in your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So yeah, singular flashback. You get to flashback a spell, which is good. Yeah. And there's simply that Dire Fleet Daredevil, which lets you flashback an enemy card. So like, so it's a 2 mana 2/1 human pirate with first strike, and when Dire Fleet Daredevil enters battlefield, Exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast that card this turn, and you may spend mana as though if it were mana of any type to cast that spell. If that card would be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. Very good. Like basically you get to do a flashback on an enemy card, but even if you don't cast it, it stays exiled. Very good. So you could just flashback a card from an opponent's graveyard that has flashback. So like you could just cast it, or if you don't cast it, they can't flashback it, which is a very good card there. I've always wondered, are they ever going to make some pre-constructed Oathbreaker decks like they do for Commander? I don't know. Would that ever happen? Like I would like some cool Oathbreaker decks with like pre-constructed with the Oathbreakers and also signature spells even. Yeah, it would be cool if there was like that. But otherwise, like you could just build your own Oathbreaker deck. It's actually kind of simple. You just choose your favorite Planeswalker. You choose your favorite spell in its colors, and then you just fill the rest of the deck with some 58 cards, which basically makes sense with has like a bit of flavor with the deck, and some lands, of course. Yeah, you're like because like it's 60 cards because like it's the but that includes the Oathbreaker and the signature spell. So that's basically in the main deck it's just 58 cards. Unless if you're going for Rowan and Will, which are the partner planeswalkers, which yeah, you can use them as partners, and if you were to use that as partners, you also get to play two signature spells. You get to play one. You get to add one for one planeswalker and the other one for the other. So like with Rowan you get a red signature spell, and with Will you get a blue signature spell, and then in the deck it's just 56 cards. Yeah, that's like basically the smallest deck possible in an Oathbreaker deck. Yeah, and yeah, it's very good. Like you get, but the thing is that the signature spell can only be cast if the Oathbreaker is on the battlefield. So like it's like if you were to do Will and a special signature spell, say for example Mission Briefing even, you can only cast Mission Briefing if Will is on the battlefield. But for Rowan you choose Cast in Flames, for example. You can only cast Cast in Flames if you have Rowan on the battlefield. They have to match, like, but it's still good. Like, it's still good to have like signature spell. And yeah, there's like the Oathbreaker tats, signature spell tats. Yeah, same thing. Like every time you cast a signature spell, you must put it back to the command zone, and you have to pay 2 more every time. But with the Oathbreaker as well, 2 more every time. You must put it back to your command zone. Yeah, very good. But now, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. That's one. We have the first part of the safe targeting. So yeah, there's basically like what I mean by safe targeting, it means basically targeting something without dealing damage to that target. So like it's kind of risky with your damage spells to target creatures. Like The thing is that like you can't steal 1 toughness creatures or 2 toughness creatures for could be sometimes, but well, they're still good. The multiple target damage spells, but there's Saheeli's Artistry, which is basically very good. Like you can do a double clone. First it's a 6 mana sorcery. You could choose one or both. Even you get to copy an artifact and then copy a creature. But it's also an artifact as well as being a creature, so it's very good. You can just copy, like your opponent has an artifact and a creature, then you can just copy the artifact, take it with Dack Fayden's emblem, and then copy the creature and take it with Dack Fayden's emblem, and therefore you have the opponent has been left with so you stole their creatures and you also cloned them as well. So Soul Ring is banned in Oathbreaker, but say for example your opponent had, for example, what's a powerful artifact? I don't know. Powerful artifact. I don't know, let's say for example, if the opponent had an artifact, say for example, Library of Flame? Nah. It's a bit too weak. Okay. Paradox Engine, for example. If the opponent had a Paradox Engine as the artifact, the opponent had a Kozilek as a creature, you can basically go Saheeli's Artistry, copy artifact, Paradox Engine, copy Kozilek. Oh, no, it's a legendary, never mind. How about Pathraiser of Ulamog instead of Kozilek? And therefore it's better for Pathraiser of Ulamog instead of Kozilek. So then you basically take... Oh, no, wait, Paradox Engine is also legendary. Okay. Aetherflux Reservoir, say for example. Although it has no synergy with the deck, but still. Aetherflux Reservoir, for example, or Sentinel Tower, depending on what you want. Sentinel Tower... How about Planar Portal, for example? If you somehow have 12 mana, you can basically search for 2 cards each turn. I don't know. What's a powerful artifact? A powerful artifact, not Brawl. Oathbreaker legal. Okay, let's actually choose Batterskull, for example. Yeah, Batterskull is a cool artifact. And then Pathraiser of Ulamog. So you copy Batterskull. There you go. You have taken Batterskull with Dack Fayden's emblem, since you targeted it, and you create a copy of Batterskull. So you have 2 Batterskulls in the battlefield. Good. Since it has Living Weapon, the copy is attached to a 4/4. No. 0/0 Germ, which becomes a 4/4 Germ. Yeah. Was it Vigilance and Lifelink, the mechanics? I think so. Yeah. And then you copy the creature, which is Pathraiser of Ulamog. So you take Pathraiser of Ulamog, which is cool, and you get an artifact copy of Pathraiser of Ulamog. So now you have a Batterskull, which you need to pass it on to a different creature because because by sure it's attached to to an opponent's creature. Uh, a copy of Batterskull attached to a germ token. An artifact copy of Pathraiser of Ulamog, and a Pathraiser of Ulamog. Yeah, that's the examples. Also, there's Dazzling Light, which is good. Like, so 1 blue instant, target creature gets -3/-0 turn of turn. So yeah, you can make a creature very weak. So like, it can protect you from a shot if you don't have Dack Fayden's emblem, but otherwise it'll give you the creature directly. Very cool. So very cool, the Dazzling Lights, and it has Surveil for 2. So like, you get to look at top 2 cards, and then you may discard any of them, and then put the rest back on top of the library in any order. So yeah, it lets you graveyard, and then the rest can stay on top and back in any order. So even if you were to throw nothing away, you can change the order as well. So there is also Rush of Ice, which is a 1 blue sorcery, tap target creature, and basically it gets frozen. Say for example, like, it doesn't untap during its control's next untap step. So basically it freezes. Tap target creature doesn't untap during its control's next untap step. And it has an awaken cost. It has awaken free for 4 and a blue. So basically, there's an alternative cost for the spell, which is awaken. So like, you get, instead of paying 1 mana, you can pay 5 mana to cast a spell, and you get to turn one of your lands into a free creature with haste. Because you just put 3+1 counters on it, and it becomes a 0/0 with haste. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and it makes it an elemental as well, which is good. Bad thing is that you can't target an enemy land. So you could just also, if you had Dack Fayden Assembler, you could also steal the land as well as stealing the creature. But otherwise, you could just turn the land into a creature and then kill it off with a kill spell without having to use any land destruction spells. Which, by the way, in this deck there aren't any. I'd rather prefer stealing land with a Argent Mutation. It'll be cool. Yeah. It's a very good deck. You should actually try building one of Dack Fayden. But now, yeah, there's some more safe targeting spells, basically. Like, what I mean by safe targeting is that basically any Chaos Wand could steal a spell that can possibly do a safe targeting. So like, oh yeah, safe targeting, like, you basically deal no damage. Like, Adverse Conditions is a 4 mana instant with no color. Yeah, it's a 3 and a blue but has no color. And you have to tap up to 2 creatures, and you basically freeze them. And you also create a 1/1 Eldrazi Skian with sacrifice it to add 1 mana to your mana pool. Yeah, Adverse Conditions is an instant compared to Rush of Ice being a sorcery, but it can't awaken. That's the problem. But you can create a Skian that can add mana to your mana pool, which is good. It's good. Like, it's another multiple target spell. Like basically the only multiple target spells that do no damage are Adverse Conditions and Saheeli's Artistry. Like, they literally deal no damage, and you get to target multiple stuff. So you basically get to steal multiple stuff with Dack Fayden's emblem. But otherwise, they're very good spells as well. There's also Glamourdy, whatever, Glamourdy? I think it's Glamourdy, whatever, yeah. It's a 2 mana instant, change the text of target spell or permanent.
by replacing all instances of one color word with another. What makes it powerful is that you can target any permanent. Like Argent Mutation, you can target any permanent, and it can retrace itself. So it can reiterate itself a lot of times. Like you can play it from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. So yeah, you could go like, oh no, I drew land, but I have like Dack Fayden Semblance. So like, okay, and I have Glamour D in the graveyard. So go like retrace, discard the land, target your Blightsteel Colossus, for example, changing all instances of blue with white. Wait, what? Blue with white? It doesn't really matter, but like you have to change all instances of creature's text. Like it's very good. The good thing is that it targets and it retraces itself. So it can be simply like an Argent Mutation with no tat and a bit cheaper, but it doesn't turn stuff into artifacts. Yeah, it's very good. Glamour D. And there is Chaos Wand, which would possibly steal some targeting spells. So like it's a 3-mana artifact. So you can pay 4 mana and tap it. To have target opponent exile cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exile cards that weren't cast its way on the bottom of that library in a random order. Very good. You get to reveal until you hit instant or sorcery from an opponent's library. You get to cast it for free. And and then the other cards will be sent to the bottom in a random order. Very good. The Chaos Wand. And now we have got stuff that can let you draw cards. So there's Opt, Pieces of the Puzzle, which doesn't draw cards exactly, but well, you know what I mean. Like it gives you cards, and Solemn Simulacrum. So like Opt is the simple 1 blue instant, scry 1 and draw a card. Yeah, I know I could have used Preordain, but I don't have a Preordain. Like it's hard to get one. But the thing is that Opt is an instant and not a sorcery. And the thing is that you can respond in between of the scry and the draw. But the thing is that where you can respond to draw, but like you can respond to spell. But then like you can scry and then respond to the draw. But not with Preordain, which you have to first scry to then draw a card immediately. But like Opt, it has like a like some sort of like a space in between of the scry and the draw to let you cast any instant or something. Also, there's Pieces of the Puzzle, which is like through the blue sorcery, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, and then you may put up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from among them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Yeah, it sends the rest to your graveyard, which is actually can be good to the deck, but otherwise, like, you could be unfortunate and hit nothing or 1 instant or sorcery. If you were to get like 2, then you're lucky. Collected Conjuring isn't really that good. Like, it only gets sorceries, and it's like you pay a red extra. But you extend it to 6 cards instead of 5 cards. That's the thing. There's also Factor Fiction, which is like 4 mana, but you get to reveal the top 5 cards, but you give an opponent the choice of 2 piles. Yeah, the piles can't be empty, that's the thing. Then you put 1 pile to hand and then the other into the graveyard. So you could take 3 cards potentially. 3 not very good cards or 2 good ones. And then the other ones get sent to the graveyard, which is good. And you've got Solemn Simulacrum. Simple golem. There's a 4 mana 2/2 with 1 enter battlefield, you get to ramp. And then when he dies, you get to draw very good. So like, you get an extra land when it enters, and he dies, you get an extra card. So yeah, that's it fits in the card advantage section of the deck. Yeah, completely. But now, it's time for some other cards in there. Some miscellaneous cards, I think. Just some 4 cards out there, which are good in the deck, but I just don't know where to sign them to. So there is a Treasure Keeper, Amulet of Safekeeping, Storm Chaser Mage, and Refuse/Cooperate. So there is Treasure Keeper, which lets you basically for 4 mana it's a free, but when he dies, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal non-land card of CMC 3 or less, and then you may cast a card for free. So yeah, basically, put all reveal cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. So yeah, practically, when Treasure Keeper dies, you cascade. Practically. Just saying, yeah. Cascade when he dies. Not when you cast it. That's the thing. But it's still great. It somehow managed to have a place in 25 Masters. Yeah. You've seen there. I'm just using the original version, I think. I think I'm using the original version, but yeah. But I wasn't aware that it was reprinted in 25 Masters. There's also Amulet of Safekeeping, which is a 2-mana artifact whenever just you, become the target. The spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell ability unless its control pays 1. So basically it goes like a counter spree or something. Like it forces your opponents to pay 1 to target you. So yeah, like there's lots of stuff that can target players in this format. So yeah, an Amulet of Safekeeping might take effect. Like Planeswalkers that target players for abilities, pay 1 extra. Heuristic studies, yeah. Or if it just target someone else, please. But if you can't target someone else, nope. Nothing happened. Yeah. Yeah, and the good thing is that you get to still target yourself with no additional cost, but all tokens get -1, -0, including yours. But like weekends of tokens, so like it can make you like you also use tokens as well. Like oh yeah, in this deck you also have some tokens, but instead of being attackers, they can be defenders instead. But there's many decks that use like many tokens, like Avenger of Zendikar decks, like yeah, Amulet of Safekeeping, no. Many token decks, like even if there was like some sort of Saheeli combo deck in Oathbreaker or a combo deck that makes infinite tokens, if the token is 1 power, they failed a combo. Yeah, they actually failed a combo because they get -1, -0. Yeah, it's very good. The Amulet of Safekeeping. It was actually effective in many matches I've played with the Amulet of Safekeeping. There's also Refuse, which is unfortunately permanent spells are not permanent while they are on the stack. So with Dack Fayden Emblem, you still can't take them, but you can deal a significant amount of damage. So it's a 4-mana instant to deal damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's mana CMC. But Cooperate is the 3-mana instant with Aftermath, from the graveyard, and if you copy target instant or sorcery spell, you may choose new targets for a copy. So basically, you have to first hit someone for casting a big spell, and then second, you just copy a good spell a good instant or sorcery spell an opponent casted. And there's always that Storm Chaser mate, which is very cool. Like, you get to, it's a 2-mana 1/3 with Flying Haste and Prowess. Wow, that's a lot. And you can cast many spells in one turn. So like, you're like Prowess, the Prowess just grows very, very big. So like you can get hitting strong or defending big. Yeah, those are the good cards. And now, time for the lands. So yeah, these are the dual lands I'm running. There is Temple of Epiphany, which is a land with enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 1. And it's tap for red or blue. Very good. It lets you do a scry. So like, it can be considered a scry. It's basically a scry land. And scry lands are utility lands. So they are very good. Like, oh yeah, the original Scryland was New Benalia, but then they made like a cycle of Scry dual lands in Feroz, which was like 10 lands, which are like when they make a dual land cycle, either they make all 10 or ally color or enemy color. But except if it's Ravnica, like there's like 3 sets in the Ravnica block. So there's like first Ravnica block, there's 5 random guilds. Then the second Ravnica block, no, not block, set I meant, in a block. First set in a block of Ravnica has 5 random guilds. Then the next one has the 5 other guilds. And then it has all 10 guilds. So yeah. It doesn't go like ally color, then enemy color, and then all together now. Okay, yeah, never mind. But yeah, it is. There's also Swift Water Cliff that enters battlefield tapped. When enters battlefield, instead of scrying, you get to gain life, which is not bad actually. Yeah, and taps for red or blue. It's still a dual land that enters tapped, but like the scry can mean a bit more than gaining your life. That's why Swift Water Cliff is a common, and then Temple of Epiphany is a rare. They're both the same dual decks. Yeah. There's also Steam Vent, which is the shock land of the deck. Yeah, Volcanic Island, the thing is that it was way too expensive. Like, Volcanic Island, since they forgot to print it in alpha, it literally was very valuable, since the thing is that it was not printed in alpha, but it was also printed in beta. Like basically beta was all cards in alpha plus 2 cards they've missed out. They forgot to add Volcanic Island, and they forgot to add Circle of Protection Black in alpha. Yeah, Circle of Protection Black had a strong relationship with Volcanic Island. Yeah, like Volcanic Island, it's on the reserve list, so it's never going to be reprinted. It's never going to go down in price. It's only going to go up. Like, it's too expensive for me to ever get my hands on a Volcanic Island. So I just use a Steam Vent, Temple of Epiphany, Swift Water Cliff, and Sulphur Falls. So like, Steam Vent is an island mountain, yeah? And when as it enters battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters battlefield tapped. And Sulphur Falls enters tapped unless you have an island or a mountain. Very good. It also works with Steam Vent, since Steam Vent is an island mountain. Kinda good. What's actually kinda ironic, so Sulphur Falls, it says island before mountain, and like literally, like, you know how like it divides, like blue is at the left and then red is at the right? It should say mountain first, so then it appears at the right, and island at the left later on, so it then appears at the left. So it matches, but it's actually kind of funny. Did they not realize that, or they just didn't care? Like, it's very funny. Was that a mistake or what? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's one. So these are the other lands, like the other non-basics. There's like 2 colorless lands, and there's a Great Furnace and the Seat of the Synod, which are also there, just because they are very good. And yeah, there are artifact lands, like they're very effective in like literally they're literally like a mountain or a island, but they're also an artifact. So that makes them good if you were to somehow use the artifacts at your advantage. Say for example with a Phyrexis core, like you could sacrifice the artifacts and gain life off that. But you could just sacrifice artifacts you don't need anymore. Like tapped for a colorless or 1 mana tap, sacrifice an artifact, you gain 1 life. And there's Karn's Bastion there to tap for colors or 4 mana tap to proliferate. So enhances your Dack Fayden. So yeah, it makes it easier for you to reach its -6, the ultimate, and then get the emblem, which is very good. Also Karn's Bastion, like I'm sure you'd have your hands on one. Like Wolf the Spark would have been was out for 2 months already, and basically Planeswalker Weekend was less than a month ago. Like Planeswalker Weekend, just by participating, you could get your hands on a special promo Karn's Bastion and a full art time wipe. Yeah, full art promo time wipe and a promo Karn's Bastion for Planeswalker Weekend. And yeah, it's very good, the Karn's Bastion. And yeah, Karn's Bastion was very expensive, but then on Planeswalker Weekend it went down in price. Well, more the promo wasn't really that expensive because it was still Planeswalker Weekend. But then when Planeswalker Weekend passed, then it was started to raise in price again. Because if a card gets printed more, then it loses value, basically. But well, yeah, they're still making War of the Spark booster packs. They still fabricate any booster pack that's still standard legal. If a set was to rotate out, they just stop making the set. But master sets or special sets, they last fabricating for 1 or 2 months, and then they just stop making them. So it makes them rare once again. And finally, you guessed it, the deck has
Render for the start.
No, wait. It's not it. It was just there's a mountain and an island. So it is, yeah, it's very cool. There's this deck runs 24 lands. So there's 8 non-basics. So there's 8 mountains and 8 islands. I'm guessing that. 8. Yeah, 8 mountains and 8 islands. So yeah. Yeah. Basic lands are essentials in a deck. You always need basic lands in a deck. That's the thing. But you also need like dual lands in a multicolored deck. But yeah, basically that's it for the deck. That was Dack Fayden. There, it's a Dack Fayden OathBreaker deck, as you've seen there, with Argent Mutation as a signature spell. It was Rolling Thunder, but now Argent Mutation. Like, I was using Rolling Thunder, but then my local game store, aka Battlezone, had Argent Mutation, so I decided to buy Argent Mutation for my OathBreaker deck, and there we go. I made it powerful, how it should have been at the start, and which was powerful, but now it's even more. Very good. And now it's the end of the podcast, so comment down below which one of these cards in the deck did you like the most, excluding Dack Fayden or the Argent Mutation. Like, most of you are just going to say Dack Fayden or the Argent Mutation, since Dack Fayden is the Oathbreaker and Argent Mutation is the signature spell, but which one of these cards is your favorite inside the deck? Yeah. Very good. And would you like to build a Dack Fayden deck yourself on Oathbreaker? If you do, please subscribe and follow and like. Yeah, share with your friends as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, and stay tuned to our next videos, streams, and podcasts. And the podcast we live every Tuesday, so stay tuned to them and watch my other videos too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye. Hope you had a nice time.